All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Little design change here. This is the set I usually use for my political channel. The lighting in here is real bad, so I have to do what I do sometimes to make it work. Also, little housekeeping. There's a video over on Rumble. If you're an RMO fan, it's an RMO video about Ted Nugent. That was obviously too spicy because I got a rating back before I submitted it, and it was not suitable for advertising. They weren't going to ban it, but they won't put ads on it. So it's over on Rumble. So if you could support me over there, subscribe to the channel on Rumble. I think I've made 5 cents so far over on Rumble. So yeah. And this is why there's a monopoly, people. This is why people are afraid to leave the platform, which, pays the rent, we'll say. And that's why I need your support over on Patreon. Behind me is John Cooper. He's the lead singer for the band Skillet. He is a smart man. He's also a Christian. The rock media does not like Christians. They go after Michael Sweet constantly. They go after John Cooper. By the way, Skillet isn't my cup of tea. No, it's really not. However, I respect what they do, and they fill a very important niche. They're not playing wussified Christian music. They're playing actual thumping hard rock. Again, not my thing, but certainly would fit well on today's mainstream rock charts and has in the past. Hence, this is why rock publications will talk to John Cooper. John Cooper, by the way, coined the phrase government rock, or his brother did. And Skillet is not a government rock band, but the publications that interview John Cooper are very much affiliated with a government rock mentality. John Cooper is about to, I guess, embark on a new recording with Skillet, and he's going to write some songs about what the world is currently going through. And John Cooper, talking to the person who is interviewing him, wants to chat a little bit about what I call collateral damage. Collateral damage is something you can't talk about in the media at all. You can't say, these measures that you're doing, these lockdowns that you've been heralding might not be a good idea because there is collateral damage. He says, I'm not trying to downplay the Dodge Omni thing-demic, or maybe even the Delta Dawn, what flower have you got on, older version of the never-ending demic, right? He's not trying to downplay that. What he's saying is he looks at his friends, he looks at people around him, and all he sees is fear. Now, according to him, he went on a government website, and it said the 2 high-risk factors for not making it through are obesity and fear. Obesity and fear, all right? And he says, it doesn't seem like anybody really cares about the fear. They're only concerned about you going to Walgreens and doing what everybody else is doing. And by the way, if there's a risk involved with that activity, what does it do? It creates even more fear. He says most people don't know the fact about the fear, and some know about the obesity. He says, that's remarkable to me, yet we are being told every single day, fear, fear, fear. And he says, I see it in people. He says, I just want to encourage people. I'm not encouraging you to break protocols or anything. I'm not saying that this isn't real, but don't give in on the inside. You can't do anything about the outside, but you can do something about the inside. So this is a record, his new album, that I hope encourages people to defy that impulse to be afraid. Now, again, every single article where somebody says something contrary to the government narrative, they have to cut and paste, okay? They say last November, Memphis, Tennessee-born Cooper, who lives in Kenosha, and I don't know why they're bringing that up. Maybe because of the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. They want to somehow link John Cooper to Kyle Rittenhouse, said that mandates are much more about tyranny than they are about actually keeping people safe. Amen. Amen to that. During the summer, Cooper, who has decided to not go to Walgreens, opened up about his reluctance to put medical devices on his head, saying the issue of this to me is nothing more than theater. It is making me jump into an unreality, something that I do not believe, just to acquiesce to either the overlords, meaning the government, and then they have to kind of educate. And I think I've already explained this, because the editor here has to come in and explain what overlords means to their readers, a name given to the 5 largest and most dominant companies in the information technology industry, which include Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft. It's almost like they're babysitting their readers, and their readers aren't smart enough to understand what John Cooper is talking about. Like, John Cooper is talking in a different language. In other words, John Cooper is smarter than all of their readers. Cooper goes on to acquiesce to the government, which says that I'm believing something that I know that I don't believe. Basically, you have to believe what everybody else believes, including the government, or your reality doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything. He says, every time I put one of these things on, that's basically what I think. I know I'm doing this. I know it's a show. I know it's theater. I know the overlords don't even believe in it, because you know how the overlords believe, or what they do, right? They go to the French Laundry, they go get their hair done, they come to Florida and they party in Miami. So he's 100% correct, because if these people believed what they were telling you, then they would practice what they preach at all times, especially when they're among thousands or hundreds of people. So again, the article goes on to talk about the benefits. Studies have shown. And of course, they have a study, and you can link to it. And it's news10.com. News 10. They're taking a local TV channel and they're linking you to that channel's propaganda. See, they never bring in a dissenting view on any of this stuff. They say that the medical device can block little droplets that can travel through the air. What they fail to talk about is how, first of all, people are not trained on how to use these devices. And typically, if you're going to get serious about the medical device, you need training on how to use it. And I'm not making a joke here. And there are certain devices that are better than other devices if you are actually going to take this seriously. But again, I've heard analogies like throwing sand through a chain link fence. And that's what this essentially is. They don't talk about the size of these droplets whatsoever. They just make a general statement. And they say studies have shown. And then there have been other studies that have also shown the opposite. So they only quote from the things that back up their position to go after John Cooper, who is talking mostly about fear. They never address his claim about fear. They never say, gee, we think fear is helpful in making people obey. That's what this is all about. Fear makes people obey. Fear lowers your ability to actually fight the illness that they're talking about here. It lowers your ability to do that. This isn't rocket science. This is basic, normal human understanding that fear lowers your ability to do the things in life that you need to do. And it makes your body less effective in dealing with the Dodge Omni, the Delta Dawn, any of the other things that are going to come along, because you know there are going to be more. So to me, this is just very interesting how the media doesn't ever quote a study about what fear does to someone, but they'll quote all day long from the Little Emperor and his catalog of greatest hits, how, again, he's going to roll out another one of these greatest hits that you're going to listen to over and over again. It doesn't change how bad the song is. All right. It doesn't change the level of fear and anger and frustration that people have. And I'd like to think that people are rising up and changing. But these media outlets, they never acquiesce. They never say, you know what, maybe John Cooper has a good point about fear. Maybe fear is not a good thing. Maybe faith is a better thing. Maybe faith in Jesus Christ rather than faith in a failing government and a failing world system. This is why there are so many Christians in the world, because they're looking for something better than this world system, which is failing right in front of them. And that's why a lot of people are coming to faith. And I'm not trying to be an evangelist here. I'm just telling you. I mean, at least have faith in yourself. At least have faith in your God-given ability to deal with these problems, and not what the government says you must do, and not in things that are unnatural and are formulated. And we don't even know what is actually, in this stuff. We have no idea. And if you think you know, then tell me, give me the list of things, and don't give me this alphabet soup combination of letters, because that's not the only thing that's going on. All right. So look, John Cooper, you got to hand it to him. He's a smart guy, and their rebuttal is copy and paste from News 10 broadcasts, News 10, wherever that is. That's their rebuttal to John Cooper. It's not from, some large peer-reviewed study where there are thousands of people who participated. It's not from that. It's from a local TV newscast. And if you understand who owns local TV media, it's the same people that own all of the larger media. And there are only a handful of corporations right now that are running the show. Can you trust information from large corporations right now? Can you trust anything they're telling you? No, you can't. So why do you cite them? And why does John Cooper need to be fact-checked? Why can't he just have his opinion? He's talking about, by the way, he is talking about his new album, Skillet's new album. It's called Dominion. And this is the subject matter that's going to be included in this album. And so this is relevant to the conversation. John Cooper is sharing his belief system. So why can't that, if some nut job on the other side shares their belief system, they're not questioned, they're not fact-checked, or there's nobody there presenting the other side, well, we think fear and lockdowns are a really good thing. And it's a good, healthy thing for humanity, because you might as well argue that fear motivates people to get in line and to obey, and that fear boosts your health. Fear makes you healthier. Do things that are fearful, and you'll live a long, healthy life, said no one ever. Anyway, I get fired up about this because this stupidity and the omission combined are a deadly combination. And I'll tell you what, fewer people are going to get through this if they're constantly under this weight and this fear. And good on John Cooper for calling it out. He seems like a smart guy. If I had a chance to talk to him, I'd love to interview him, but our interview probably wouldn't be suitable for this particular platform.